Hi Ritika. Hey Shama.
Yep. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good?
Hi Banu. Hey Dilesh.
Hi, Shannon. Anyway,
Hi Neha. Hey Shankar.
hi. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hey Shankar.
Hi. Hi, Abhishek.
Hey Jacob. Hello Tejasvi.
Hi, Abhishek.
Hello Shweta. So yeah, we can give a couple of more minutes for everybody to
Hello,
start joining.
Abhishek.
Hello
Hi,
everyone.
Akhilesh. Shweta, you're from TAC. My colleague Tejasvi, who also recently joined TAC, and hope to join this week. Yeah. Hi.
Awesome. Welcome.
Just
Hey Shida.
Hi.
Good to see all the epic users on one screen. From the support channel to it's okay. Hello Lisa. Hi Ricky. Hi Salman. So a lot of other people also RSVP. So I hope you won't mind like giving 2 more minutes. Hi Pearl.
Hi, Abhishek.
Miss you. Hey Naman. Okay, I think let's get started. Thank you all for joining. It's good to have everybody who we talked to, interacted, connected. So nice to have you all here. We'll keep this like the session very informal, and the agenda is, of course, like I mentioned in the mail, it's to show you some of the new features that we've been conceptualizing and thinking to add. So the idea is we'll talk about it, like why we thought of it, how we're planning to do it, and then we'll give you time and like you can unmute yourself and ask questions or give feedback on it, at any point of time. So it's not like a webinar. You are free to discuss and openly talk. And I'll pass it on to Shamun to kind of walk us through the features. I'll go ahead, Shamun.
All right, thank you. Uh, Let me share my screen. Is it up?
Yeah. Let's see.
All right, hello everyone. This is Shamu, and I'll be talking about the upcoming features that we are planning. So what I'll do is I'll go one by one of each feature, and I'll just describe like what are the challenges that some of us faced and why we thought of taking this feature into the. So let me start by going to the first one. So the first feature that we are planning to build is the contact history. So, most of you know, we have a chat screen where we have all the messages of particular contact, but we don't know like what is the contact history. So, information like when he messaged you for the first time, on which floor does he started, which floor he's currently at. So that whole history means something for an NGO because like you can track what are the paths that lead to each flow. So whenever an NGO starts a pilot, he could see where each of his contact goes through that flows, and he can easily configure that flows according to that flows. I'll just show you a quick demo, like how we are planning and where we are going to integrate it in our big screen. So let me just go through it. So I'll just give you a quick demo on how in the design files we have made it. So feel free to have any feedback on that. So here, this is the main screen of Bitbit, as you can see. And if I click on this icon, we get a menu where we can go to the contact profile. So if I go to the contact profile, below all the details of a particular contact, we have this contact history section. So we have made this section here because at the right, as you can see, we have all of the details of the contact right just beside it. And from here, we can see like how the contact have moved over a period of time. And we've also provided the dates for each of the things that like he started a flow on first, and where he has paused the flow, like when he has assigned to something. So that is pretty convenient to track a particular contact. And we have added a show mode, so you can go through the very first start where he started first came into the system. So that's just a brief about like how we are thinking of this feature.
And Shamun, since all the information is like all together, the contact details, the data you've collected, so it kind of gives you a complete picture about the contact. So history, current data that you've collected, and all the information, phone number.
Right. So yeah, like the name and the preferences and everything that is stored for a particular contact, it's present on a single screen. You don't have to go anywhere for a particular contact information. Right?
Yeah, I think we can open it for anybody to comment. Like, do you think it helps? Any of your thoughts, you can just unmute and share. Or if you feel that there's something more we should think of.
Uh, this is great. I mean, like, will this be will we be able to download this as well in a bulk format, or like, say, if I have around like multiple contacts, so can I get this? Is it like somebody mentioned BigQuery? So will it be possible to link it to BigQuery where I can get like a bulk report of sorts, or will I have to go and see this for individual contacts?
Yeah, we didn't think about that. Neha and Shweta, I think you both asked a similar question.
But no, the place where I was coming from, I mean, like right now, because the number of users are huge, until unless like somebody raises like a specific concern, or if I have to check for a specific user, this is helpful. But when we're talking from like an operational analysis point of view, we'll actually want to see where is it that people are pausing, assign, who has gotten which triggers and all of that. So it will be useful more at an aggregate level than at an individual level. So that's where I was coming from.
Okay, thoughts on that, Shamun? Like, are we capturing some of this data on BigQuery or none of it?
So we are capturing the whole data. And we are sending it to BigQuery also. So analytics at current time also you can have this data and the aggregate report can be done. This feature is more of a personalized feature, like for an individual contact. But as you are saying, like you want the aggregate data for a like overall bot that you can get right now. We have the data. In BigQuery. So we just need to like collect the data points and have the reports. Does it answer your question?
Yes, that does. And that's great if you're able to do that. So sorry, I mean, Abhishek, you said it's not as a
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I meant it in continuation. Like, we didn't think of it as a report only
Okay.
on the screen, but yes, we can now, add maybe include it within the report template or someone like how we can get it. I think we can, or maybe if you have some thoughts on, like, is any specific thoughts, Neha and Shweta, in terms of reports, like how do you want to see it? Then I think we can also leverage that to build it into the template. Right, Shamun?
Yeah. So yeah, we have the data like how many contacts have gone through a particular flow, and we save that in BigQuery also. So we can easily get that. You want a personalized report for an application, but yeah, this is somewhat of a personalized history. So if you want to like pinpoint a particular contact and see like where he's stuck, so in that case, this can be.
Okay, that was helpful. Anybody else has any questions, thoughts? I mean, for the people who just joined in, just really quickly, like we are talking about the new features, and the first one is showing a contact history. Like right now, you had contact profile details, but we're also showing all the interactions that you've that a contact has done with the bot. Like you can see on the screen, flow started, flow completed, trigger sent, contact added to collection, and those kinds of things. So we are tracking them all on the contact profile. I mean, it will be available, but this is how we are thinking about it.
All right. So any other questions or? Okay, moving forward, I'll just go to the second feature that we are planning to build. And the second feature that we are planning to build is the pause and resume flows. So most of the times it happens like you're on a chat screen and you like most of the interactions take place with a bot, and sometimes you want to manually intervene for a contact, like you want to say some message, but that breaks the particular flow, and you need to start the flow again, and that breaks the overall the messaging part of the bot. So what you can do in this case is pause a particular flow with that button, as you can see here, and you can manually write a particular text to that person, and then start the flow once again. It will not kill the flow when you type in a message manually. And it can also happen like you paused a particular flow and you forgot to like resume it. So we have a timer of around 3 hours, so it will automatically resume that flow after an interval of 3 hours. So I'll just quickly give you a brief demo of this also. So as you can see, like here, our bot is currently running with a particular flow, and if I just take on this icon, so now my flow is paused, and I can write a manual message to that particular contact. And after I send this message, I can again restart that flow. So the flow will be restarted after this point. How can I get started? And it does not stop the particular flow if you write a manual message.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We realized that like this is was kind of important for when you have manual interventions. So and oftentimes it happened with us also when we were using the bot that we would send a message and then it would kind of overlap with the automated message also. So both the message would kind of get sent, the one that's sent by the staff and from the automated, which created a lot of confusion. So then you pause it, you send the message, and then you resume the automation. Although we would like recommend that if you do this, once the flow is completed, sort of, and then use, yeah. I mean, if it's urgent, then you can do it within the flow, but after once they're completing the flow, then you can resume.
Any questions? Then you can
Hi.
feedbacks.
Hi, Abhishek. Hi, Shamu. Nishita here. So about the freezing the flow or pausing the flow, one of the things that sort of came up in our interactions also was that the user journey, there are several unique user journeys, right? Out of which the first one would be a primary learning journey, and the secondary would be any assistance that the child needs or any redressal or whatever. So our challenge was becoming that if they move away from the learning journey, then their flow has to restart, and then again the point system and so on. So is there a way to sort of freeze at which point the child leaves the flow, but not for a manual interjection? For an so suppose I want to change my language in the middle of a flow, and then I change the language. Can I restart from the same point? Is there a way to do that?
Abhishek, in this case, can we use background flows or?
I don't really think
Yes,
so.
yes. I think background flow we can use that, Abhishek. But we need to experiment. We didn't experiment with the same case, but so having a specific keyword, let's say. But I'm not sure that because Shamun, we are not expecting any input from user.
Okay.
So to change the language, we have to keyword like change to English or change to Hindi. For each language, we need to have different one. So all those are limitations on that.
Yeah,
So
because-
we have.
exactly, Pankaj. So because it has, it needs user input, I think it has to be designed within the flow, right? Like you have these checkpoints within the flow, and then you get the user to trigger those flows somewhere from.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we can specifically also discuss that, Ishita.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think we can take it up maybe after the call.
All right. Any other questions or feedbacks? Comments? All right. Let's move to the next picture. So next we have the message sets for collection. So this has been specifically requested by one of our partners. What happens is like for individual contact or a chat, you can see like if the message has been sent or if the message has been received, or if it hasn't been received, then you get an error. Like because of this condition, it hasn't been received. Maybe due to opt it out or never opt in. But for a case of a collection where you have thousands or hundreds of contacts, you want to know like for each individual contact, has it been sent to most of them or has it not been sent to like some of them? Because sometimes it happens there are multiple reasons where people are not able to get the message, and we have specified like we have got six primary reasons that, of failure that we have. So it can happen like the user never opted in, or he has opted out from our side, or he has opted out from the club shipment. Maybe the session window is not there, or the user cannot be on WhatsApp, or it may be a delivery issue. So these are things that can be other reason of failure. And it describes like how out of like your 1,000 contacts, 500 has not been able to send a message. So I just show the interface like how we are planning to build it, and yeah, you can just come here. So as you can see, this is our collection screen from where we send a message to a collection. We have added the stats on each particular message. So if you send a message, you can see its individual stats. So if I click on this, I get a pop-up where I can see this message has been sent to 28 contacts in that collection, and it has been failed to send to 12 contacts. And we specify the reasons for failure also. So like if I click on this, so these are the contacts that have never opted in. And we can go from here to their particular chat screen and see like where did they left the previous chat. So again, if they opted out from Gupshup, so we can see like where did they left out previously, or if they're out of the session window, so where did they left. So in this case, getting that feedback, like how many contacts have not been able to receive the particular message in a collection, that really helps to grow the bot work. So yeah, I'm open to questions here or any sessions or feedbacks. Like, no questions? Okay. Alright, let's move to our final feature that we have for today. That's a bonus feature that some of the NGOs have requested. So, like usually it happens, most NGOs have got their particular contacts opted in some other places, like the IVR system or the messaging system, and they wanted to have the contacts built on Gateway. Currently, what they do is they ask us and we charge some consulting hours because it takes a particular amount of time to upload those contacts. So we are thinking of bringing this up in our UI only, and it will just be an Excel sheet of all the contacts that have been opted in, and we can just upload it with that interface. Currently, we are not opening it up for the NGO. It's just the internal use of everything. So you can just ask us like these are the contacts that needs to be uploaded on the big interface, and we can do it for now. And we'll see over time like if like NGOs are using this feature, so we can add that for each individual NGO. So I'll just show you how we are planning to make this. So this is our like the contact management screen, and here, from here we can like upload the contacts for a particular organization. We'll just select the XLS file or the sheet file, and we'll just upload it from. So it gets uploaded, and your contact will be there in the ticket. So yeah, this.
And we can also add them in a particular collection. Like if you need certain contacts to be added to a certain collection, then that can also be done.
So we won't have to do the registration process entirely in this case, like to get them opted in.
No, Shweta, I was just coming to that actually. So we would still.
Really excited looking at this.
Yeah. So right now, what was happening is that there are, sometimes you've got the opt-ins through IVR or online forms that you have, but uh, and you want to move those contacts to Clipit. So I think this is so this feature is made specifically for that. You will still need to get all the opt-ins. And the best way, of course, is to spread your number and then get them to opt in via the chatbot itself. But if at all there are some contacts somewhere in different repositories which need to be updated because they were opted in a different method, then we can do it here.
All right, and like let's say, will this help us to add existing contacts to a particular collection? Let's say I don't want to upload new contacts, but I want to ensure that, let's say, want to create a bigger collection wherein I want all my contacts to be added. So right now, the only way to do that is add them manually to a collection. So let's say I want all my contacts to get added to a collection so that I can start a flow for them. So this will make that possible, right?
So Shweta, I think that's a good thought, Shweta. We were just thinking about uploading the contact and into directly a collection, but we can certainly think about extending this to add to collection also. Yeah, and we can discuss and get back on that as well. I mean, that was not the original thought, but we can certainly think about this.
Would it still work? Sorry.
So we have not yet made this feature, so we are just planning and showing it to you also. You can get the feedbacks.
Okay, got it.
So we'll surely take this into consideration, and we can have that right up.
Yeah. I mean, this can still help. Like we can add a check, Shamu, that if there are existing contacts, then just do this function, like move them to
Okay, then
origin.
just add to collection.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be enough.
we can add those checks also. So that's, I think once we've done this, it should be easy. But maybe giving that feature on the organization side, like specific organization side, could be thought of. So we can think more in that direction, Shraddha, and then take that forward. Great. Any other questions, comments on anything on this or any other feature? Or if you have any thoughts on any feature that you might have needed, like while you were using Glyphid. I mean,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, no, any specific reason as to why, like, this is still internal and not made open to organizations? Or the,
Yeah, Neha, like because right now there is no way to check whether the contacts are opted in. So, so that's why like we didn't want to really open up, because here we can at least make sure that and interact with you and get to know that there are opted contacts or not. So, so we can add that as a layer or as a filter. Um, that's probably basically the reason why we wanted to keep it to the super admin. Great. Ravindra, you want to say, you have anything to say?
Abhishek, so this option will not will be available for us right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can send us those contacts and we can upload it for you. We can facilitate it for you. So that way we can do this.
Okay.
Yes.
Right then, I
So
think these are the.
there is a question: when can organizations expect these features?
When can we expect these features?
Since you are developing, so Visa, I think this has been in talks. I think you can expect it to be available in the next few weeks or so, right? Like because with our current sprint, I mean we'll be taking these up in the coming weeks. So I think in 2 to 3 weeks you should be able to see updates in these for these features. And we'll, like, of course, as we always announce new features, we'll announce it for you.
Right. So yeah, for today we have these 4 features. Also, please tell us like your feedbacks, and you can comment on mail us also. And if you want like any of the features that you really want your personal, like it can be generic for each and every issue, then we can think about it and we'll just make that also. So for now, yeah, just these 4. Okay. All right, Abhishek, over to you.
Great. Thank you all for joining, listening, and discussing these. There were a few things that we didn't think of, and that's always, that's why it's good to discuss with the community. And if you have anything, like, of course, the Discord channel is open. Here also, if you want, you can share. And otherwise, I think we can close this session and connect back again later if required. Okay then. Thank you all. Bye bye. Have a good rest
Thank
of
you
the
so
day
much.
and weekend.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.